Hey guys, it's Steven on from Hackerz Nightmare here with the very first Hackerz Nightmare tutorial Tuesday. Technology tutorial Tuesday, by the way. So today we're going to be in Photoshop making something like this. If I can find it. Here it is. Alright. So this is actually pretty cool. It has two spotlights here, Starfield background, diamonds coming at you, name, kind of 3D-ish shadows, and type of fireworks in the background. So it's pretty cool, and let's jump into this tutorial. I know you guys think I'm rushing, but that's kind of because the last time I've done this took forever, and took 32 minutes, and I'm trying to keep it short, not really doing that. Alright, anyway, go to File, New, for your new comp, and just name this Shatter Diamond Logo. And you can just name that, and I'm just going to use my 1280 by 720 pixel preset, and to do that, all you have to do is just type in 1280, 720, keep the resolution and color mode the same. Remember, this has to be on pixels inch and keep these on pixels. And that's basically it. Click on Save Preset, click on OK, and you'll just find it right here. And then, when you're done with that, just click down OK. And we've created a nice transparent little background. So anyway, to name this, we're going to name it, just double click on the layer 1 name and type in BG for background. I like to be a neat geek. And just go to your gradient tool and we'll just hit G and you'll get the gradient tool. And just put your marker on the very bottom of the composition and just drag straight up. And if you don't drag straight up, it'll become all messy, and you don't want messy. So basically now we have a nice gradient of kind of light gray, little lighter, darker, 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 black. And that's basically going to be our background. But we're going to make it a little cooler later on. So now once we've gotten that, you're going to have 2 more layers, and in order to do that, we need the layer button. You're not doing it, by the way. So this is the layer button. So just click on that. 1, 2, twice, and name the first one Spotlight, and name the second one White Light. So for the spotlight, we're just going to take our brush tool, and I have this brush on. You don't need that, and basically what you need for the brush is click on the drop down arrow, and it doesn't matter about the master diameter because we're going to be using that later. But anyway, just click on one of these fade in type of brushes. Just click on it once, any of the fade ins, and just change the master diameter to 800. Pretty big if you wave it around. So now that we have it on the spotlight, just find a place at the very top, in the top center, and probably use about 1/4 of the circle and just click. Great. Now you have your spotlight. Now moving on to the white light, we're going to do the exact same thing. Don't change the brush. But this time, just make it from 800 to 500. And when you got that, just click somewhere in the center. And that's our white light. But in order to make it look better, we're going to have to use the transform tool and change it up a bit. So with this, if you do not have these little squares, all you have to do is just go to Edit, free transform. And if you don't have free transform, just go to transform, free transform. If you don't have free transform already there. So once you have these little squares, just go to Control Alt Shift. And basically, you can widen these out on both sides. So just drag them out till you have it pretty big. And now just shrink these in. Keep holding Control Alt Shift. And now you can let go of those 3 keys and just bring it down. And bam. Great. Click on the transform tool and apply a transformation. Now you can see where my spotlight is, and we can now start adding text, which will be good. Now, create that new layer. Delete that layer, that text layer that you just made, but we're not going to do that. Just click on this big T as one of your tools. That is the text tool. I am waiting for it. And there it is. So basically, for my text style, I'm using a chunk 5 text. You probably don't have it, so I'm going to put it in the link below for you guys to download. Regular, 120 point, and crisp. So basically with the text tool, just draw a square, rectangle, anywhere inside the comp. And just type in what you want it to name. And basically, I just have it. It's my name. And basically, I'm just gonna hit the Control Transform tool, and I'm just gonna find a nice place where it lands. And so it's right here, and you kind of see that the bottom of the P is not really showing. So I'm just gonna right-click on Stephen, or actually the text name, and not layer properties, but going to blending options. Now, once you have blending options, you have a whole set of these really nice options that you can choose from. So we're going to start with a drop shadow, and immediately you can see some of the shadow on here. So first, just make the opacity 100%. Change the angle to 90. Use global light and put a distance of 3. A spread of 0, and a size of 10. Now, I'm just going to show you one of the other ones, and this is actually really cool. So, for instance, you like, let's nice neon blue. And basically, I'm just going to make the size of it. Bam. And now you have a nice outer glow. But for this tutorial, you don't really need it, so just uncheck mark that. So now we're going to go to my most favorite effect, and that's the bevel and emboss. So once you have the bevel and emboss, just change the depth percentage to 327, and you have this nice glossy look. That's pretty good, but it's a little bit too much for me, so just change the size to 1. And soften it up all the way to 16. And this is all good. Now, for the last one, you just want to go to stroke. Just click on the stroke name. And just change the color. Now, you see you have the ID number. Just highlight it, delete it, and type in 727272 for this nice gray shade. And now you have the text. Now, what's really cool about the text is I'm going to add a little feature to this. It's really easy. It does not take any skill at all. It's just that I hit Control J to make a copy of this. And all you have to do with the copy is use the right arrow key and just click it. And you'll start seeing this 3D morph. Now I like this 3D morph because it looks cooler. So after we got that, let's start going into the next one, the next part. So we're going to start making our diamonds. So go to File, New, and you do not have to save this preset, just make a width of 400 and a height of 400. Just click OK. And you really don't need a name for this because we're just going to delete it. You don't need it anymore. So all you have to do is just click on your polygon tool, which at first is going to be a rectangle tool, but just hold down the rectangle tool and let go on the polygon tool. And now you have a polygon tool. So you notice my setting here is on this polygon tool with 4 sides, no style, and a white color. So what you want to do is just make a square about the size of your comp. Do not make it the actual size of your comp, because that would not look good. So just click on the transform tool, and now you have the thing inside your comp. So what you want to do is just hit down Control Alt, no Shift this time, and just bring in the sides about that much, and just pull this. There, now you have the nice diamond we're looking for. So with this, you can go to Edit. Oops, my bad, I did something wrong. Right click on this. After you click on this, apply the transformation. Right click onto this shape and click on Rasterize Layer. Now since the shape is rasterized, you can now go to Edit, Define Brush Preset, and then click on OK. Don't save changes. So once you've done that, you can now access that brush anywhere and everywhere. And you can delete that as well. So basically, if you scroll down to the very bottom, you should see it here. Mine's at the very bottom, yours might be somewhere else. And now we're just going to make a new layer, and we're going to name it Diamonds. And that's where all our diamonds are going to be. And with the brush, you can see how big it is, but if you just do that, it just has a really ugly feel that I do not like. So with the brush things going on, just hit this button, and all your brush options are on. So what I want to do is just turn on Shape Dynamics. And with the shape dynamics, I want you to change the size jitter all the way to 100. So it changes the size. The control, put on pin pressure, minimum diameter of 0%. Angle jitter, put that on 100. Control off. Roundness jitter is going to be at a 45. And with a minimum roundness of 1. And all of that. And this control is off. Now go to scattering. And you want this to be on both axes. And change the control to off. And the count jitter all the way. Count jitter 100. So keep this back there, and count jitter is now 100, and keep the control off. So all you have to do after that is just check mark the airbrush and smoothing, because we just want that. CS6 does not have this, and basically you have to go to File, Edit, Preferences, and plugins, and just in one of them you can choose that you want to go back to the CS3 format and just click it if you're CS6. So now that you have your layer selected, you have these really cool buttons. They're the brackets that you usually put, not the parentheses but the brackets, and you can basically customize the size with the brackets and just make the brush the size of your name, and just scroll through. Now you can see how the diamonds is kind of covering it, so just put it there, and now it's in the background. So I'm going to do another rerun just to add a bit more diamonds and spam. Not that spam, but anyway. Now increase the size and just put it around the edges here to give it that nice big look on the edge. And just decrease the size and just put it wherever you want. There. Okay, now you have your diamonds on. No biggie. So once you've done that, we are now going to make a new thing. We're gonna call it new layer on this, and I'm going to call it shadow, and just bring it above the name. So with the shadow on, I just want you to go to your brush tool, go back to that same fade, and basically I want you to increase that fade about that much. And basically with this, I'm going to change the color now to the color of neon green. I'm going to click OK, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw right there and give that nice green look. And the next thing we're going to do is do yellow. And just do the yellow here. After you get the yellow, we are now going to move on to magenta. And finally, we are going to add just a pure red right here. And what I want to do is go back to yellow and just click one dot there. So now you have that. So with the shadows on, you're going to want to give this a motion blur. So with this highlighted, go to filter, blur, motion blur. And we'll be using these blurs a lot in the tutorials. And just make the blur angle at 0 with a distance of 90. And once you've got that, click on OK. And click on the blend mode. This is the blend mode. And just change it to vivid light. And now you can actually see the words, but it's a bit too powerful. So we're just gonna mask it. This is the button. It's basically a black background with a circle in it. And basically you come out with these colors. Do not change it. Just go across the name so that you can see the name. And basically with this, you can just hit the adjustment tool and just bring it up so that it fits like the bottom part of the text. And now that we have this, I want you to go to your adjustment layer and just click on Window, Adjustments, and it'll appear somewhere on your channel. I have mine here. And just click on black and white. And now all you have to do with these colors is just decrease the values. You'll start seeing shadows appear. So I'm just going to play around with these a bit and to get our perfect color. Okay. That's how I like it. And now that we have this, we are now going to add a new layer. So this new layer, we're going to call it color. Once you click on it, call it color. And with the color, we're going to do basically the exact same thing we did with the coloring. So, but this time we're going to start with a nice blue, light blue. And click OK with your brush tool. Go back to your brush tool. And basically go over and redo that. So once you have that there, next we are going to add a little bit of magenta. And then after magenta, you can go ahead of me, but I'm just going to do stuff like this. After magenta, we are going to start adding yellow, and then orange. So for my yellow, that's my yellow. It's my yellow, and then we're gonna have a nice molten orange. And once you have this off, down, all you have to do now is just set the blend mode to color. And basically you have the nice color in the background. So basically that's all you do. And just click on color so it's highlighted. Hold down shift and click the background. And now you have all of these layers selected. Hit Control, Alt, Shift, and E. And all of those layers are now in this one layer. So I just did the exact same thing we did and just delete the other layers, and now we just have one layer. So name this layer reduce noise. And basically what you want to do with the reduce noise is go to filter, noise, reduce noise. And basically you want to shrink to 10 of preserve details of 100%, reduce color noise 15, tripping detail 60, and remove JPEG artifact. Click on OK. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate these twice by clicking Control J twice. And this one, the first one is, the first one on the top is going to be called Sketch. And the second one is going to be called Blur. So in the blur one, we're going to go to filter, blur, motion blur. And with the motion blur, you just want to add it at an angle of 90 and a distance of 17. Click on OK and set this to hard light. And you can't see it yet until we edit the sketch. So with the sketch, go to filter, sketch, reticulation. And once you have the reticulation, you have this, but click cancel. And just do this, that. So you have the white and the black. And just mess around with these settings to get that. So go back to filter, sketch, reticulation. And with the density of 50, foreground level of 0, and a background level of 5, click on OK. And just click on hard light. And basically, that's a little too much. Actually, no. Go to color dodge. That's really nice. Okay, so basically, that's how you get the nice background. And basically, we're done, except that I kind of want a little bit of a boom. You don't have to copy me, but I'm just going to do what I want to do. So this is basically my brush. Go back to your brush, and this is one of the pre-made ones that they have, so you do not have to purchase it. It's like this stem thing. And just increase the size of this and go back to this and just uncheck mark all of these because we are no longer using these anymore. And now basically you can just add some fireworks in the background. And now that kind of looks bad, so just move this under the reduce noise and you have those fireworks. And basically you can make them a little bit bigger. Bam, 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 bam. So basically you have your fireworks. Now just click File, Save As, Shatter Diamond Logo, make it a JPEG, and I just want it on my desktop right now. So if you exit out, I am not going to save it. Click on that, and basically you have your new logo finished. So what a way to kick off the first Hackerz Nightmare tutorial. I hope to see you next Tuesday, same time every Tuesday, the Hackerz Nightmare tutorial.